Hi, this is Otto Trujillo, December 27th, Sunday, 2015. It's approximately 12 o'clock, 12:08 in Denver, Colorado. I want to finish up my near-death experience. There are many elements to this talk. I want to forget about what time of year it was and concentrate on more of what was happening. Just get to the point, right? As my body was breaking down and the AIDS and the alcoholism, it affected my digestive system, and it was beginning to affect my central nervous system. My central nervous system became infected with the HIV virus. With a low depletion of vitamin B12 and other vitamins, my body was so depleted of vitamins that the virus was able to attack the central nervous system and go directly to the brain, leading to dementia and peripheral neuropathy. Peripheral neuropathy, try to say that 10 times fast, is basically nerve damage in your extremities. The extremities are your fingers or your hands or your feet or your toes. Some neuropathy goes all the way up to the knees. Some goes just from the ankle down. Mine was severe visually at first because you could see my feet were swelling like cantaloupes. Now, if you don't know this, when the body slowly dies, it will retain water, and it usually goes to the feet. That's usually a result from a heart problem or some kind of, your body is just not working. So that was one huge sign that I was really, really bad with AIDS. I mean, so sick, I remember that I had the dementia too. It traveled to my brain. And I was probably just like a 5-year-old. I couldn't remember where I put my clothes, where I was getting dressed at. I would basically just get dressed and just sit there and stare constantly, just freeze. I would call it freezing, being froze. I would try to get dressed, and it would take me like an hour to get dressed, and they would come up and check on me and realize I hadn't moved. So what I did is I followed my dad a lot. I remember following him a lot, and he at that time began to take care of me. He's a pharmacist. My dad was a pharmacist, and he's no longer here alive. But when he took care of me, the pharmacy elements to his profession kicked in, and it helped me with my medications. Trying to explain it to me, try to organize it for me, try to get me to really get involved with taking medications like you're supposed to. He tried his best, and because I was getting dementia, I followed my parents around. I didn't leave the house. I didn't leave the front yard. Basically stayed in pajamas. My digestive system was breaking down. I was getting dehydrated, couldn't pass bowels, couldn't think clearly, couldn't get dressed, couldn't feed myself, couldn't prepare food. And my mom is also, she was at the time working with medical insurance. At the time, I didn't know what I was eligible for and what I was what I needed help with. get on health insurance, get to the resources, and get better. So somehow, on both ends, my parents who weren't around when I was a kid were around at that time when I had AIDS. And I went to their house, and both of them on each side, they had the pharmacy side and they had the medical insurance side. So I was lucky and blessed to be in that, and that's what I call supernatural. I mean, planned way before. Somehow each one went into this medical field, and I had to have, way before then there was inspiration, and there's ripple effects that were set way back before we were born, that things have turned out into our lives that we just don't realize until it happens. And then you say, wait a minute, that really couldn't have happened unless this happened, unless this happened, unless this happened, unless this really did happen way back then. So that's my 5 minutes. I ran out of time. That's one element, and that's more of my body breaking down and me passing away of AIDS. Thank you very much. God bless. Cheers.